Welcome back, you guys. So, right now, as you can see, I have the QSP Leopard and the Kizer Splinter. Because when I got the Kizer Splinter today in the mail and I opened it up, immediately I was like, I knew what it looked like and I knew what to expect. However, when you get it in your hand, you think, this knife is exactly like another knife I own. Well, here it is. It's the Leopard. Now, just a little comparison between the two. The micarta on both knives is it's really great. It's really great on both knives. So I really there's no clear winner between the two. They both have extremely similar pocket clips. However, the ones in the Kizer are flat and you have dome screws in the Leopard. So, of course, I'm going to choose the Kizer pocket clip over the QSP, but that's not a huge deal. I like the flow through construction of the Kizer, but I also like a good backspacer. So, the backspacer in the Leopard, however, is not it's nothing special. So, on that note, I'm going to give the flow through construction to Kizer, and I am kind of pitting these against each other in a way. Now, the QSP, as you noticed, has some jimping on the blade, which is it's pretty nice, but it's um, it's not anything aggressive, but it is nice to have a little bit of jimping when it's such a smooth surface. And the Splinter does not have jimping at all. They're not by any means heavy use knives, but I will give the jimping to the Leopard. Now, they both cut equally as well. I'd say they both came, no, actually, the Kizer came a little sharper than the Leopard. I was kind of surprised because usually in my experience, I have really good luck with QSP's knives coming very clean. The fit and finish is always good, and the knives are always sharp. The blades are always sharp. So, but I am gonna give this one to the Kizer. Now the handle, and let me see. The handle is so similar. It's really hard to make a choice. However, and what I mean is the thickness of the handle. The QSP has a slightly thicker handle and it tends to fill the hand a little bit better, just a little bit better than the Kizer. But Kizer has a way more comfortable texture on their micarta on this knife. I really love this texture. QSP's micarta is a nice texture. However, it's a little smooth for my taste. If I were to compare it with the Kizer, um, it's a little bit smooth, and I just like a really nice textured micarta. Like when I have a micarta handle knife with a micarta handle in my hand, I want to feel the micarta, and the micarta on the Splinter is very soft and very textured, and I really love the look of the texturing. So as far as looks go, the QSP does have a neater look to it and a more streamlined look, where the Kizer has a slightly more rugged look, I guess you could say. So this is more of a gentleman's carry. You're going to the office, you're going to take the QSP Penguin, or I'm sorry, the Leopard. But if you need a little backup and you're at work, you're going to take the Kizer Splinter because there's a little bit more billboarding on this one as well. I'm not a huge fan of billboarding, but I don't really mind it. I just think this is a little too much. I think it's cool that people like to put it out there because they're proud of their designs, and it's a great design, don't get me wrong. However, we know who designed it. We just don't need it there constantly. I don't mind this Splinter right here, the where it says Splinter, and of course the Kizer logo. I'm used to it. It's on every Kizer knife, so it looks nice to me. And then you have your little serial number in the N690 or whatever steel you're getting at the time. Um, so the look of the blade, I'm I mean, although I love this swedge so much, they're really similar in the fact that they could both, like this one especially, could pass for a Warncliffe blade. This one, it could be a drop point or, a modified drop point, but I'm just going to go with drop point. It's not really a Warncliffe, but I know that this Kizer could totally pass as a Warncliffe, and it's pretty much because of the swedge. Now, I'm a sucker for a good swedge, and I love the fact that it makes the tip curve down just a little bit, gives it a little extra strength, and you still have piercing power. So that is what I love about that. The look of the blade, it will go to QSP just because there's not a lot of billboarding, but the style of blade is going to go to the Kizer because of what I just said. Now, Fred is going crazy, ringing his bell. I'm not sure if he needs food or what. Or maybe he's just saying hi to you guys. I feel like he does this every time I do a video now. So yeah, anyway, back to these guys here. Now, on the Kizer, I love this finger placement right here. I think it feels really good. It makes the knife feel comfortable in hand. You do feel the clip a little bit when you do put a little force or squeeze it tight, but it's not, I don't think it's too bad, and it's not going to be horrible just because it's not a hard use knife at all. So I can't see the clip really being a horrible problem for many people at all. The liner lock is way easier to disengage on the Kizer, and the flipper is really nice. However, this flipper has zero jimping on it, and I slip off a lot. So when my finger slips off constantly, it gets on my nerves. But when you do engage and you deploy the blade, it feels good. It's a really nice and snappy blade deployment. So I really like that overall. Now, with the leopard, the it looks like you would get more access to the bar, right? I mean, it seems that way. But when I go to disengage the blade, I find that I have to, and that's another thing right there, but we'll get right back to that. I find that I have to actually take my finger and turn it sideways and use my thumb to push it down because it's a little bit harder, you see. And the action is nowhere near as good as it is on the Kizer. Nowhere near. There's no competition as far as I'm concerned at all. So if QSP stepped it up just a little bit, I mean, because they had the jimping on their flipper, and both flippers are very similar. The style of flipper, it's almost exactly the same. But they have the jimping on theirs, and I love that. And for that reason, I love their flipper. But it's not a consistent deployment with this. It's not very reliable. With the Kizer, it's always reliable. It does not fail. I mean, I have not failed the Kizer once today. But the QSP, I know for sure I can fail it. And I mean, the Kizer, I'm going to say between the two of these knives, Kizer has it hands down. And it's first the simple fact that the Warncliffe blade makes the point that you can use, it's a very usable point. The Warncliffe makes it a little more sturdy and strong, although the stock on the QSP is a little thicker, but the point is much thinner, I think. I mean, you can see there's a little reinforcement on the tip of the blade on the splinter. So I'm totally giving this comparison to the splinter because I just think overall it is a fabulous knife. This little thing it's a hot little commodity, this thing. I love it. It's a great backup. It is such a fidget friendly knife too. It is so nice to hold in your hand. I mean, it just feels good. I mean, your hand just, I mean, this one is, it's weird because although the handle is a little bit thicker, you can't get the grip on it and it feels shorter. And it's weird because I feel like they're the same length, but I mean, obviously the splinter is definitely longer now that I put them together like that. But I mean, you can choke up because the flipper's right there, and so I do love that because you can really manipulate the blade. I mean, this one it's really easy to use both of these blades. But I found that, and I've used them both equal time. I mean, I know I just got this today, but I only used this for a couple whole days, but I used it about the same amount as I used this one today. However, because I was much busier, and so I was able to use this quite often today, and I really liked it. It was a great little EDC. It doesn't take up any room in your pocket. It snaps out with authority every time. You can choke up if you need to. That flipper doesn't feel as comfortable as when you choke up on the leopard, but I mean, overall the action is pretty amazing for such a small and light blade. It falls shut for the most part with just a little bit of motivation, I guess you could say. The liner is easier to access. The leopard it's misleading because the liner looks like it's easier to access, but it's not. I mean, see, it even has texture. This one has no texture whatsoever, and it is so incredibly easy to disengage the liner. It's great. I love this knife. It's great. I love the leopard as well. I'm just saying, if I had to choose between the two of them, it's gonna be the splinter all day, you guys. So that's what I got for you. Let me know how you feel about this review. What do you guys like? Do you have both of these? Comment below. Like, subscribe. I just noticed that I got up to 250 subscriptions today, so I'm really excited about that. I appreciate every single one of you, and I appreciate all of you who have put the word out about me, and all of you who steady believe in me, and it means so much to me, you guys. I really hope you made it to the end, and I will see you soon. Bye.